Leo, let me be direct with you because I know you don't come here for fluff. A shocking amount of money is heading your way before this month ends. And no, it's not a reward for being good. It's not karma balancing the books. It's something much deeper. It's the universe returning to you what was always yours but held back until now. So here's my question. What if everything you gave, the love, the patience, the loyalty you offered in silence was never lost? What if it's all coming back, not because you chased it, but because you finally stopped running after what was never meant to stay? You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. You didn't randomly click. Something pulled you here. You know that. And whether you've been watching horoscopes for years or this is your first time opening up to this kind of message, something inside you recognizes truth when it speaks. That's what this is. Not a prediction, not a hype headline, but a confirmation. We're stepping into the final days of November. The end of a season, yes, but more importantly, a turning point in your personal journey. And for Leo, a sign ruled by the sun itself, that turning point is dramatic, divine, and deliberate. The cosmic alignments don't lie. Full moon in Gemini, Jupiter speaking softly to Venus, and a cycle closing in the energetic realm, all pointing to one thing: a release of withheld abundance. A financial surprise. A message, a breakthrough, an offer. Something you thought had passed you by is circling back with your name on it. Not because you begged for it, but because your soul earned it in the quiet moments no one saw. That's what this video is about. Not luck. Not manifestation in the trendy sense. But sacred return. Leo, you've been the fire in too many rooms where no one said thank you. You've stood tall when you had every reason to collapse. And now the ground is shifting in your favor. Before we go further, let's ground this energy right now. If something in you knows this message is for you, if a small yes is rising in your chest even while your mind is still skeptical, don't ignore it. Do something intentional. Take a deep breath. And go to the comments section and type the number 77. Not for me. For you. It's your marker. Your way of saying, I'm not just watching, I'm showing up. I'm aligning with what's already unfolding for me. And let me say this while I have you here, thank you. Your presence means something. Every like, every share, every comment brings more light into this space. It's not just about growing a channel, it's about holding space for people like you to remember who they are, and why they've come this far. So truly, thank you for being part of this. Now, I want you to stay with me until the end of this message. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just a prediction, it's a map. A spiritual and energetic map of why things are shifting now, and how you can receive without guilt, fear, or resistance. And believe me, Leo, you'll want to hear every part of it. So tell me, what part of your spirit called this moment in? What part of your journey made the universe say, it's time to give this back to them? Go ahead, write it down. I'm here. We're listening. And this is just the beginning. Have you ever sat quietly with yourself and wondered why some people seem to glide effortlessly toward success, recognition, and abundance, while you have poured heart, effort, and loyalty into everything, have had to carry so much alone? It's a hard question, but if you've ever felt like the universe forgot you while it celebrated everyone else, you're not alone. And you're not wrong to ask. But the truth is deeper than what we often see on the surface. Just because you haven't seen the return yet, doesn't mean it's not on its way. Some blessings take longer to arrive because they're being crafted specifically for your soul's blueprint. As a Leo, ruled by the sun, your energy is naturally radiant. You walk into a room and shift the atmosphere, often without trying. But here's what most people don't see, sometimes even you don't see it. When the sun is hidden behind clouds, or when it sets, we don't doubt its power. We know it's still there, just operating beyond the visible. And you, Leo, have been operating in that unseen space for a long time. Quietly giving. Quietly holding. Quietly enduring. You have kept the fire burning for others, even when no one stayed to tend yours. Energetically, everything you've given hasn't disappeared. It's been stored. Not in some cosmic scoreboard, but in what I like to call a spiritual vault, a sacred energetic account. Every time you forgave without being asked, every time you showed up with integrity even when no one was watching, every act of generosity, every moment of truth you held in silence. Those were deposits. You've been investing in something you couldn't fully name yet. And now, the account is maturing. The withdrawal is near. Tarot reflects this process beautifully. The star speaks of hope, renewal, divine timing. It often comes after a long season of pain, and it doesn't promise quick fix, it promises restoration. The Six of Pentacles is balance returning, energy reciprocated, kindness finally being acknowledged. It says, help is on the way, but not from a place of charity. From a place of earned justice. You're not getting a handout. You're being met where you've given most. The laws of energy are real. And unlike human systems, they are not corrupted, delayed, or biased. What you send out doesn't vanish. It circulates, it gathers strength, and when your energy matches the frequency of readiness, it returns. Not because you begged. Not because you proved yourself through exhaustion. But because you allowed it to come home. That's how the law of attraction truly works, not by force, but by resonance. There's an old saying that's always stayed with me: God is never early, never late. Always on time. Whether or not you come from a faith background, the message is universal. Divine timing doesn't rush, and it doesn't forget. It waits until your spirit is strong enough to hold what's been prepared. And Leo, I say this with clarity, strong enough now. You've done the inner work, whether you realized it or not. Your battles, your growth, your willingness to love through disappointment, to rise through rejection, that was the preparation. So no, you're not being overlooked. You're being aligned. And alignment takes time. The universe doesn't operate on public applause or quick validations. It waits for you to become the person who doesn't just want the reward, but can carry it with grace. And that's where you are now. This moment isn't about working harder. It's about receiving smarter. It's about honoring your journey instead of doubting it. It's not about hustling for crumbs of recognition, it's about opening your hands to take in what was always yours. When we stop chasing, we start attracting. When we stop proving, we start allowing. And when you allow, Leo, miracles move fast. If you felt something shift as you've been reading, that's not your imagination. That's alignment. That's your soul saying, yes, I remember now. I know what's mine. And I am ready. Now is the moment to anchor that readiness. Type 77 in the comments, not just as a number, but as a confirmation. A personal signal to yourself and the universe: I see it. I accept it. I'm ready. This is where things begin to move. And you don't have to move mountains. Just be still enough to receive what's been making its way toward you all along. Something changes when you know where to look. When you understand how the movement of the planets and the currents of energy shape not just days on a calendar, but the timing of your breakthroughs. And Leo, if you've been feeling like things have been paused, like something's been waiting just off stage, this last stretch of November is what it's all been building toward. There's something about the way a full moon works. It doesn't create, it reveals. It pulls things out of the shadows, into full view. And this time, the full moon in Gemini, on November 26th and 27th, isn't just illuminating emotions or vague insights. It's calling up matters tied to value, finances, hidden assets, forgotten opportunities, and long-closed conversations. The kind that suddenly open again with answers. But astrology, when read deeply, isn't about making wish lists. It's about tracking energy and understanding how that energy intersects with the blueprint of your birth. And for Leo, a sign ruled by the sun, clarity, identity, and purpose are most powerful when you're centered in who you really are. The universe knows that. So when it starts pulling strings to redirect resources your way, it won't come through chaos or noise. It will come through something familiar. A message from someone you didn't expect to hear from again. An offer that returns just as you've stopped waiting. A piece of information that suddenly makes the path ahead obvious. These aren't coincidences. They're the way destiny speaks when it knows you're finally ready to listen. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and divine timing, will be in a semi-sextile with Venus, the ruler of money, beauty, and relationships. That's not the loudest aspect in the sky, but it's often the most personal. The kind that brings unexpected returns through something soft, small, even intimate. A gift from someone who once undervalued you. A payment delayed now finding its way through. A contract reactivated just as you considered letting go. And when this kind of energy shows up, it doesn't demand that you prove you're worthy. It asks you to be willing to receive without guilt. Now here's the part that most people miss. Energetic portals aren't unlocked by timing, theory unlocked by alignment. If you're holding on too tightly to how you thought it had to look, or trying to control the exact form, you may miss what's been quietly circling you for days. So take this as an invitation to soften your grip. If something is meant for you, especially now, it will find you. It may not knock loud. It may just slip into your inbox or whisper through a phone call or land as a quiet knowing in your chest. But it's real. And it's approaching. Some of you may already be seeing the signs. Sequences like 77, 888, or 1111 showing up everywhere. That's no accident. Those are confirmation codes, frequency signatures that echo what your intuition already knows. When you start noticing these moments, don't just brush them off. Use them. Write them down. Speak into them. Or comment them below. Let this be your way of saying to the universe, I'm listening. I'm aware. I'm available. Because awareness is what amplifies the current. And when you respond to what's nudging you gently, you'll start to notice it gets louder. Clearer. Closer. We're not here to chase abundance, we're here to recognize it. The kind that doesn't come wrapped in noise or performance, but in alignment. This moment, Leo, is not just a forecast, it's a doorway. You've already walked a long road to reach this threshold. Now, your only job is to be present enough to walk through it. It's easy to believe that when money arrives, the work is done. That once the bank account shifts, the pressure will lift. But what many of us have learned often the hard way is that without inner restoration, external abundance can feel hollow. The truth is, Leo, you're not just being given financial support. You're being handed back something far more precious, your power. And this time, it's not about using that power to survive or prove yourself. It's about using it to come home to who you've always been. Think of money not as a destination, but as a vessel. A boat, if you will. It's meant to carry you across deeper waters, not trap you on the shore. It doesn't define your worth, but it can support your healing. The key is whether you're directing it with intention, or just letting it swirl around your fears. What's coming your way in the final days of November is not just a number, it's an invitation to rebuild from a more peaceful place. And to do that, your nervous system needs to feel safe, not just your wallet. Let's get real about that. Are you sleeping soundly or simply crashing from exhaustion? Are you eating in rhythm with your body or just grabbing what's quick between obligations? When was the last time you breathed not just in and out, but deep into your belly and out through your shoulders? Sometimes the most radical act of wealth is resting without apology. Give yourself magnesium. Let the sun hit your skin without guilt. Take silence like a daily vitamin. These aren't luxuries. They're your new foundation. And what about your work? Are you still lit up by what you do, or just checking off boxes, chasing metrics, pushing yourself out of habit? If you've been feeling disconnected, it may not mean quitting your job overnight. But it could mean restructuring how you spend your energy. Maybe you carve out time to create again. Maybe you say no to what drains you, even if it's good on paper. The Leo soul craves purpose, not performance. And right now, your alignment matters more than your productivity. Now let's talk about how this money, this energetic return, wants to be used. Not for show. Not to silence insecurity. But to create what I call your peace buffer. That might look like stable housing, access to therapy, time off that doesn't require burnout to justify. Maybe it's covering expenses for someone you love so they can rest too. The point is, let this money expand your calm. Let it be a soft landing, not a golden cage. And in your relationships, it's time to stop shrinking. No more pretending to be lighter, so others aren't intimidated by your depth. You don't need to translate your soul into something small to be received. The love that's meant for you won't ask you to dilute yourself. It will meet you in your full presence. But for that to happen, you have to stop editing your truth just to be understood. Let this next chapter be about intimacy, not approval. All of this is to say, receiving is not passive. It's an act of choosing, of honoring, of allowing what's always been yours to finally land because you're no longer pushing it away out of fear. The money, the opportunity, the support, they're real. But what makes them transformative is how you let them nourish what's been tired inside of you. That's the return. That's the justice. And more than that, it's the restoration. So take what comes with a clear heart. Not because it defines your value, but because it gives you space to fully embody it. Let what's next feel gentle. Let it feel like exhale. Let it be enough. When something is about to shift, you feel it before you see it. It starts quietly, maybe in your sleep, maybe in the numbers on a receipt, maybe in the way a certain person's name comes to mind without warning. These moments don't come with big announcements. But if you've been paying attention lately, Leo, you've likely noticed the pattern. The number 77 showing up again and again. A vivid dream about a home you've never been to, or someone from your past appearing with a softness that wasn't there before. A conversation that reopens a door you once thought was closed for good. These aren't random. They are signals. They are the way the universe speaks when you're nearing a financial, emotional, or spiritual return. You see, energy works in rhythm. It doesn't just follow logic, it follows resonance. And the number 7, in numerology, holds the vibration of spiritual completion. It's the pause before the new cycle begins. A deep breath before the next chapter. When you see it double DOS 77, that's not just a sign of luck. It's a message that a gateway is opening. One tied not only to your outer circumstances, but to the deeper healing your soul has been asking for. This isn't just about a check in the mail or a call from an old connection. It's about what that money or apology or opportunity represents. A restoration of balance. A long overdue correction. A whisper from the universe saying, I saw everything you gave when no one else did. And I haven't forgotten. Often these signs appear when we're just starting to come back to ourselves. When we're not trying so hard anymore, but instead, starting to allow. You might notice the energy around you feels different, not louder, but more precise. Like you're being drawn into something, but you can't explain why. That's because you are. You're being called into alignment. And when that happens, things that once seemed delayed or impossible begin to reappear, not to test you, but to offer you another chance, this time from a more grounded place. Sometimes, what returns isn't just the opportunity itself, but the version of you that's finally ready to receive it. You might see an old dream resurface, one that failed before, not because it wasn't meant for you, but because the timing wasn't. Now, that same dream might come back with new tools, new wisdom, and new support. Because you're not the same. You've grown. You've cleared space. You've let go of needing things to happen your way, and that has opened you to something better. This is what it means when we say, the universe is paying you back. Not in the same currency you gave, but in a form that reflects who you've become. That's why you're being asked to notice these signs, not just for confirmation, but for participation. To say yes to the energy that's rising. To meet what's coming with presence, not fear. So if these signs are showing up for you, if you've seen 77, 888, or 1111 more than once, if dreams are becoming more vivid, if unexpected faces are returning, if opportunities that once failed are knocking again, to dismiss it. Don't rationalize it away. Say yes. Own it. Comment below and anchor it by writing the number 77. Let that be your signal, your conscious choice to align with this return. You're not just being remembered. You're being re-invited. And all you need to do is accept the invitation. There's something deeply misunderstood about receiving. Most people think it's passive, just sitting back and waiting for life to hand you something good. But anyone who's truly walked through hardship and healing knows that receiving well is an active, conscious decision. Especially when it comes to money. Especially for those like you, Leo, who've learned to survive on strength and self-sacrifice for so long that the idea of ease feels unfamiliar. By now, you've probably felt the shift. Something is different, not loud, but undeniable. This isn't just about getting money. It's about becoming someone who lets wealth stay. That means we're not just attracting abundance, we're anchoring it. And that's a very different kind of energy. Anchoring requires trust. It requires you to stop holding your breath, stop scanning the horizon for threats, and finally drop into a deeper yes. This is the place where nervousness dissolves into permission. Where fear of losing turns into freedom to hold. That's why I want to guide you into a small but powerful ritual. Not because rituals are magic tricks, but because they help your energy focus. They help your body remember what your spirit already knows, that you are safe to receive now. Start with a blank sheet of paper. Write, in your own handwriting, I receive the fair return from the universe. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. Beneath that, write these numbers, 77, 888, and the date window 11/27 to November 30th. These aren't just numerals, they are energetic frequencies. In numerology, 77 represents divine alignment and financial gateways opening. 888 is the number of infinite flow, restoration, and balanced karma. These days at the end of November hold a pocket of cosmic opening. Marking them with your attention gives the universe something to respond to. Once you've written it, place your hand over your heart. Not in performance. Just in presence. Take a breath, not the shallow kind you do when you're rushing, but a full inhale that reaches all the way into your ribs. Exhale slowly. Then imagine a soft golden light pouring down, not from some faraway sky, but from the space just above your own crown. Let it move through your hand, into your chest, into your wallet, your home, your calendar. Wherever you hold your life. This is how we energetically say, I'm not chasing anymore. I'm ready to be filled. And I want to be clear, you don't have to be perfect to do this. You don't need to feel fully healed, totally confident, or wildly spiritual. All you need is honesty. If you're nervous, that's okay. If receiving feels new, let it. That's not a block, that's proof you're expanding. True abundance doesn't demand certainty. It only asks for space. The biggest lie we've been taught is that wealth is only about hard work or external success. But wealth, real wealth, is a frequency. And it cannot be stolen, copied, or taken from someone who holds it with awareness. When you understand that, fear melts. You stop clutching. You start trusting. Because the truth is, Leo, abundance has been circling you longer than you know. It was just waiting for you to stop identifying with the struggle long enough to open the door. You no longer have to spend money to escape your life. Now, money is coming to help you rebuild it in your terms. That shift matters. Because it means you're no longer surviving. You're shaping. You're choosing. You're rewriting what wealth looks like for someone like you. Someone who leads with heart, who holds with strength, and who finally understands that receiving is just as sacred as giving. So if you feel ready, write it down. Say it out loud. Breathe it into your bones. Let the fear go. Let the light in. Let the wealth stay. Leo, if you've made it this far, pause with me for just one moment. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath soften. You've been holding so much for so long, and now the message is simple. You don't have to do more to prove you're worthy. You already are. What's coming to you now isn't a reward for effort, it's a return for alignment. A soul-level acknowledgement of everything you've poured into life without expecting anything back. You've walked through fire with grace, through disappointment with dignity. And now, the universe is doing what it always promised it would do, it's circling back. Not because you begged for it, but because you're finally standing still long enough to let it land. Imagine this, somewhere beyond what your eyes can see, an angel is placing a thick envelope into the spiritual mailbox of your life. On the front, in golden ink, is your name. And inside is exactly what you thought had passed you by. It's not just money, it's peace. It's not just opportunity, it's restoration. And it's not just luck, it's law. You have matured energetically. That matters more than most people realize. Because energetic maturity is what allows things to find you. Real love. Real wealth. Real justice. These things don't chase noise, they come to stillness. To readiness. And Leo, you are ready. That's why the financial blessing, the emotional clarity, the long-awaited recognition theory all on the move, headed in your direction. Not because you performed, but because you became. So I ask you now, sincerely, what will you do first when that blessing shows up? Will you let it change you gently, or will you question it like it's too good to be real? Will you take the first step toward building the life you've been dreaming about for years? Will you give yourself permission to be happy without guilt, without hesitation? Or will you wait for someone else to confirm what you already know in your bones, that this is your time? If something in you just whispered yes, even quietly, then I want you to anchor that energy now. Like this video not just to support this space, but to lock in this frequency. Let it be a ritual of commitment, of presence. Subscribe if you haven't already, because this isn't a one-time message. The energy continues. The windows open and close. And I want you with us for all of it. And most importantly, go to the comments and write the number 77. Let it be your signature. Your silent yes. Your way of saying, I'm here. I receive. I'm ready. And if you're still wondering why this message found you today, let me offer this. You are the reason the universe rewrites the laws of justice. You are the one it couldn't forget. You are the one it's been waiting for to say yes, not to the hustle, but to the healing. This moment isn't the end. It's the beginning of your return. And you, Leo, are not just someone waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. So let it unfold. Let it be easeful. Let it be real. And above all, let it stay.